Hi guys, Clockwork Dandy Noodles here. This is the final part of my London trip and I hope you enjoy it. So after a big bowl of ramen, I left you guys up at the beautiful St Paul's Cathedral. And again, I told you that St Paul's Cathedral is a marker. So you can head towards there and head up towards the Museum of London. The museum is free, so you can get in for free. There is bag checks as well, so just be aware of that. To get into the building, you will need to go into the entrances, which are hidden, as you can see, around the edges. They've got staircases and they also have kind of elevators, yes, that's the word I'm kind of looking for. So the museum is a great place to hide out, and my favourite place to go and visit is the Pleasure Garden. And in there you get to see kind of Georgian and Elizabethan style dresses, and I really like this style of kind of clothing, and it's something I'm going to be making a lot more of with my new project. So it's great to go and see it all set up with the crinolines and the lace and the kind of brocades. It's very nice. There's great audio, so it's all set up like a pleasure garden. You can hear what it's like to kind of be of the upper echelons of society. Now, following on, as the museum moves, it kind of moves forward in time periods. So we go into the Victorian era. So this section is set up like Victorian shop fronts, and it's quite nice to walk around if you're wearing your steampunk finery. And you get a kind of a taste of what it would have been like walking down a Victorian street, what was on sale, what was kind of relevant at that time. You get tailors, you've got your own chemists. I really recommend you guys come and check this museum out if you are around. It's, again, most of the London museums are free. To get into the special kind of exhibits, you may need to pay a small fee, but they're all really, really worth it, and I'd say check it out if you want something free to do and keep your costs down, because eating in London and is kind of a bit more of the priciest way your money is going to go. So again, you've got pawnbrokers, you have tailors, the bank. So a lot of places, there's an old post office box. You still get these in, we've kind of obviously kept the style, but you still find those in like small villages. Alongside, you'll see type like music vendor, you'll see like people selling, there's like cake set out, so you can see that people have been selling things outside their shops to kind of promote. With bakery as well, they would bring out the fresh breads and kind of, you'd get a smell of the bakery, which again, it's a great selling tactic. People use it nowadays. If you walk past the fish and chip shop, what do? You want to buy a pack of fish and chips just because it smells amazing, it smells nostalgic, and people will buy on scent. So again, that explains, as I've shown you guys here, some cakes and scones, of course. And what is a scone? A scone is a scone until I have eaten it, and then it is scone. That wall there is the old Roman wall. That is the wall of London that shows you where the outskirts and how far the town used to extend. This is the northern exterior. You can find more of it up near the Tower of London as well. And naturally, London is it's huge. It has really expanded a lot since the Roman period. I also did a study on the Magnificent Seven Victorian graveyards. I don't know if I want to add that in with you guys, so you have to let me know if that's something of interest, because I don't quite know how I feel about going around our Victorian graveyards as such. It's a bit of a morbid topic, I guess, so you'll have to let me know your thoughts down below. Again, this museum is very different from a living museum where you get to see an actual taste. This is kind of just a snippet, a window into your window shopping. You're essentially window shopping into the kind of the life of the Victorians. I love this. This is just an old medicine kind of shop. I studied medicine and I took a degree in it, so I kind of did what did the printing press give birth to a popular medicine? Did it aid kind of narrowing medicine down to where it is nowadays? Because medicine at the period was, once upon a time, it was all over the place. You had kind of different people following different bits. Now I've added in this next bit, this is the actual sound from the pub. They added it in to kind of give you a feeling of what a Victorian pub would sound like. Not much different from today. So yeah, it's a very nice museum. It travels through time and then out into the Edwardian periods and onwards to the 1920s, even to a modern exhibit. They've got like the Queen's coronation, they had like the moon landings and things. If you are looking for the Science Museum and the Natural History Museum and the V&A, that is at South Kensington, all free. Apart from certain exhibits. If you're looking for the British Museum, that is at Holborn, free again until you hit certain exhibits. If you're looking for Greenwich and Cutty Sark, that is all down at Greenwich at the National Observatory. So that area there, you can buy a ticket and do the whole lot. I haven't done Cutty Sark yet, so I might do that. Now this was absolutely amazing. This was the 1920s kind of wall. Before was a museum, a cinema section. Sadly, the light was really bad, but it's so cool. The seats are really, really, really nice. Now, Charles Booth did a survey. He surveyed where the richest and the poorest were living in London, and also where the dirtiest and most unhygienic of kind of diseases were kind of coming from. So you can see that the rich and the red living along kind of the main streets, kind of at the fronts kind of thing. All the red areas are kind of got more money, they're a little bit bigger, but Booth also is one of those people who kind of gave way to showing that the lower classes the housing wasn't great, it was causing issues, and if you want more you can go into it. I'm not going to go into it too much, but it's very nice to have a look at how the class separation kind of is as you get further into the more industrial zones. Okay, so I ended up going to Covent Garden. It's not, a few people asked me, is it actually a garden? It's not a garden. It was a Victorian shopping centre. It used to be a brothel. Pickpocketing again was notorious around this area, but you can go here now for a shopping experience. There's really, really good cookies, so if you want good cookies, go to Ben's Cookies inside. Recommend it, definitely. And you can kind of just see how I've added pictures in from the Victorian period, how very little has changed. It's still got that gorgeous kind of atmosphere. It still looks identical nearly. There's a lot of street performers around as well, so it's a good place to go for that atmosphere, the entertainment, the music, and kind of the live crowds. You get that along South Bank as well, but you get it quite a bit here as well. Now, if you're after steam, you're after transport, you're after kind of vehicles, you can go to the London Transport Museum. I think that one is paid. I'm pretty sure it's a paid one, but you don't take my word on that one. So as I was walking up to Camden, I found this really cool street. I didn't know it was there. It kind of reminded me of Carnaby a little bit, but I don't think it is. I ended up at Camden. Camden is very eclectic, it's alternative. Definitely check it out. There's food, there's a lot of people kind of selling some really cool clothing. Always nice to go to the lock at the end as well. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I have Germany coming up for you guys. I've got more Pokemon coming up, and I should have a lot more coming up. So generally, I hope you guys are feeling good. Thank you for supporting me. Give me a like if you think it's great, and show me to anybody who you think may have an interest in my videos. And I will see you guys in another video.